Good evening, my friends. Welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Live right here on Mike Avery Outdoors. My name is Mike Avery, and I like to talk about the outdoors. So the name is Mike Avery Outdoors. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday night. I am live. So it's Wednesday Night Live. How are you? Did you stay cool today since we last talked this morning? It was kind of hard. Sam, I'm going to have to get back with you. Let me send Sam a quick text. Here we go. On air, back you when done. All right, here we go. Ed Bolanowski is with us. Good evening. Jared checking in from Addison. Craig, good evening. How are you, my friend? Hot and steamy in Missouri, Philip says. I think it's hot and steamy across most of the country, much of the country, huh? Julie, hello. How are you this evening? My name is Mike Avery. This is Wednesday Night Live. Lori is back from her latest noodling adventure. In fact, when I'm done here, I'll be posting some pictures of that. Paul just got power back. Good for you. What a rotten day not to have power. Dave checking in. Where are you, Dave? You good? Dave, I lost you. Here we go. There is Dave. Bruce, good evening. How are you? Kathy, nice to have you along with us on another edition of Wednesday Night Live. Brian's with us. Good evening. Hey, nice walleye, Brian. I like the picture there. Mad Jack checking in with us on YouTube. Tim is with us. Who said he missed this morning? Brad missed this morning. That's all right. Randy is along with us. Eric's checking in from Roscommon. Hello, Jason. How are you? Deer are all in the orchard moving around the wraith. I don't think I'm going to use the recurve, Scott. I don't think I'm going to use it. And the reason being, I picked up this Darton crossbow and I started shooting it. And I got to be honest, it's crazy. I'd forgotten what it's like to shoot a crossbow. And now that I've got one in my hands again, it's pretty appealing. I know it's taking the easy way out. I know it is. But if the goal is to make a quick, clean, humane killing shot. Steve is in the car charging his phone, watching because there's no power in the house. I am taking that to Ohio. I am, Ed. Yeah, it's very nice, all right. And it's shooting about 440 feet per second. Crossbows are often a no, it's not the easy way out. Dave says no power still there. Tony's going fishing in the morning. Tony, have fun. I know right now I will not be fishing until after I get back from Ontario. Greg's at a Dart and Viper Extreme. When am I going to do a biography of my career? I've been asked that before, Brian. The truth is, my memory is not good enough to remember a lot of the stuff that happened to me. And that's the God's truth. I'll have people say, hey, remember this? No, I don't. Greg got a Toxin 150. He's going to Idaho bear hunting. David's last dart and shot 350, or his last one. Who did I see was up in Captain Mark Pananzak. He's fishing in Oscoda. I bet he's after kings. No, Scott, we do not need a special permit in Ohio for crossbows. Anybody can use one. Jared says people that judge us that use crossbows are the one that shoot a $1,200 compound. No maker's mark. Margie had a great time fishing in Ludington. The fishing on Lake Michigan right now is kind of crazy, right? In fact, what about that new state record king salmon, Chinook? 47 pounds and change. I have on the radio show this week Captain Bobby Sullivan. It was Martin. Hey, look at Martin. I'm going back to the dark side. Sam says, I talked to somebody there, Sam, at the shop a little while ago, and he said he had a couple of crossbows in there that would handle it. The scope that came with this crossbow is not fast enough. Bobby is a great guy. I know he spends the summer fishing out of Linwood Beach. How cool is that? What is the guy's name? Lewis got this new state record. But listen, and congratulations to Lewis. But here's the truth. When you go out fishing on a charter trip, even though you might be the person at the end of the rod and the end of the reel, it's the captain who set that whole thing up. So I give all credit to Bobby Sullivan. Bobby is the guy who decided where to fish, how deep to fish, how fast to fish, what lures to fish. So even though Lewis gets credit for the new state record, it was Bobby Sullivan who, in my opinion, caught that fish. Lori says she ordered a new crossbow, Lori. Fingers crossed. Be here in time for Ohio. Brian's on his way back from Ebles in McBain. Nice store. I hope Northern Lake Huron Oscoda gets better for salmon too. Last day tomorrow in the house he grew up in after 63 years. You sold it. Is that kind of a melancholy thing, Bill? Kind of good but bad? Mike says he needs a different crossbow scope. Mine is crap on his crossbow. What you find for yours? Actually, I got to be honest. The Darton, nope, no crossbow for you. Good for you, sister. I just don't have the confidence in my recurve anymore. Charter captain should get a side note on the records. That's a good point, Tim. The scope that comes with this, they're making Darton crossbows as fast as they can. If you can get one, you're lucky. I'm sorry to hear that, Phil. Sorry to hear that. The scope that came with this, believe it or not, that sells with the package. This is a 5-power Darton Toxin scope. I'm finding that it's not enough for the speed of this bow. And the reason I say that is the way you sight in a variable power crossbow scope is you go to 20 yards, you zero your scope. I look like I'm genuflecting, right? You zero your scope. And then you go out to 30 or 40 yards and you shoot it and you see if the reticles line up. If it's shooting high, you boost the power, the magnification, the speed of your scope up, and this scope actually won't allow me to do that. Randy, good evening. How are you? No fishing lately, the weather. Well, Tony's going to try to get out there tomorrow. So I think I need a variable power crossbow scope that goes up to 6 power. Excellent. Martin says, CBM, record book, his 2020 turkey was tied for number 1 with single beards in CBM. Excellent. And I'll be honest with you, that's why I don't like Pope and Young. They won't take crossbow kills. Phil says he was 99 years old, a World War II veteran, 37 and a half years at Kroger. He had a good life, didn't he? Then their crossbow's too complicated for you. I thought you were shooting a crossbow, Ed. I'm one of those guys where if I'm going to shoot higher technology, like a crossbow, I like to fiddle with it. I like to get as much out of it as I can. Cameron, good evening. How are you? Yes, he did have a good life. You're thinking Nikon for a crossbow scope. Nikon makes a good scope. I just need a higher magnification on mine. The 5 power that came with it apparently isn't fast enough. Now, I'm getting real fussy here. If I wanted to shoot this thing at 20 or 30 yards, the scope would handle it. However, even though I wouldn't hunt at more than about 30, maybe 40 yards, I like knowing that I can push it at the range and see how much I can get out of it. But I'm pushing it. Mark, good evening. How are you? By the way, my name is Mike Avery. This is Wednesday Night Live. I didn't know you were shooting a compound, Ed. Good for you. I thought for sure you were shooting a crossbow. Good for you. So Lori will be in Ohio with a compound. Ed will be in Ohio with a compound. I don't know if Scott is bringing his compound or his crossbow. Mark, good evening. How are you? Nice to have you along with us. For me, the choice is one of two things. It's either an old style, basic, instinctive recurve, or it's going to be a crossbow, one or the other. It's not going to be a compound. Margie will be in Indiana with a crossbow. Craig will be shooting a compound in Ohio. Good for you, buddy. So Craig is shooting a see, there aren't that many of us shooting crossbows. I thought it was a whole crossbow deal. Excalibur Twilight DLX handles up to 425. See, I'm shooting over 425. I'm shooting about 440, so I can't use that one. I can't pull a compound back, so it's a crossbow. I can pull a compound. I can pull a recurve, but I can't pull enough weight to make my recurve as effective and efficient as I would like it to be. Good evening, Ron. How are you? Larger glass wouldn't be a bad idea as long as you're looking. I hear you, Tim. I hear you. And in some ways, I'll be honest, in some ways, I feel like I'm taking the easy way out. Because it is definitely easier to become proficient and accurate with a crossbow over a recurve. My maximum limit, my self-imposed limit for hunting with a recurve is 15 yards. I went out yesterday and in about 6 shots was shooting bullseyes at 50 yards with that dart and crossbow. So is it easier to become proficient? Yes, it is. But again, if the goal is to make a quick, clean, humane killing shot, right? A couple of questions here about Chef Dave Miner. First one was, when are we going to be able to do a Wednesday night live at Dave Miner's place? I don't know. Dave isn't open on Wednesdays anymore. He's only open Thursday through Sunday. So I don't know. Burris makes a new crossbow scope. Your dad has one on order. John says, why not do a segment on Crossbow Basics? That's a good suggestion. Because I'll be honest with you. As much as I'm enjoying this new dart and crossbow, and it is a shooter, believe me, it's levels above my previous dart and crossbows. My heart still is with a recurve. This model is the Darton Toxin 150 RD. It's shooting about 440 feet per second, which is amazing. This is not a crossbow for a beginning crossbow shooter. If you are new to crossbows, and you want a Darton, I'd go with a 100. This thing has a 220-pound draw. I got my hands full cocking this bow. And honestly, it makes me a little nervous having that much power right in front of my face because I'm not used to shooting a crossbow lately. James is going to stick with his bear, a 1965 Grizzly. God bless you, brother. There is nothing more basic, pure, instinctive, wonderful than shooting a recurve. but I'm not as confident with my recurve as I want to be. And I know I'm not going to spend the time shooting it to become as proficient and accurate as I want to be. And I'm just not interested in a compound. To me, I got to be honest, rated at 440 or chronoed with Euro, no thanks, it's a time bomb. I don't know what it's rated at. I know the folks at Darton put it through a chrono and they said it was 440. Is there a crank option for it? Yes, but I'm not a big fan of it, Margie. Ontario does not require a special permit for using a crossbow. James is shooting his recurve out to 20. Good for you. I was only getting 15 out of mine. I didn't feel confident more than 15. So I'm even though I want to continue to shoot my Michigan-made Predator recurve, I'm not as good with it as I want to be. So I'm looking for options, and this Darton crossbow is a good one. What broadhead? Tony, I tell you what, I'm planning on shooting a Michigan-made broadhead, REK, R-E-K, out of Frankenmuth. Why not shoot a recurve crossbow? Because if I'm going to shoot a crossbow, I'm going high tech. Ravens crank is super easy. I looked at the Ravens, but I wanted to shoot a Michigan-made bow. All right, before we go down this rabbit hole here, which it looks like we're going down, let's talk about a few other things. A new Michigan state record king salmon over 47 pounds. The previous record was in place since 1978. I never thought in my life we would see the Michigan king salmon, king/Chinook salmon record broken. I never thought that would be the case. Listen, I shot compounds for many, many years. The reason I transitioned from my Darton compound to a Darton crossbow in the first place was because all of the haters came out when they made crossbows legal in Michigan. And the people started whining and pissing and moaning and bitching about the fact that crossbows were the easy way out and they were a poacher's tool. I said, baloney. I said, I'm going to start shooting a compound just to stick in the craw of those people. I mean, a crossbow just to stick in those people's craw. And that's why I started to shoot a compound, just because I'm that kind of a guy. A crossbow, I mean, because I'm that kind of a guy. So congratulations to Lewis, the angler. But I got to be honest, congrats more to Captain Bobby Sullivan. 47 pounds and change. On this week's Outdoor Magazine radio show, the second segment of the first hour, I have a conversation with Captain Bobby Sullivan about that fish. Then I talk with the DNR biologist, Jay Wesley, who certified the fish, and we talk about the Lake Michigan salmon fishery as long as I'm on this. In hour number 2, Scott Keatsman of Linwood Taxidermy. Jeff said, too bad it couldn't have been caught by a guy fishing himself, not on a charter. Just something. Yeah, true. How you doing, Jeff? I haven't talked to you lately. Hello, Ed. Nice to have you along with us. Scott Keatsman of Linwood Taxidermy is in the second hour. Nick Green of MUCC. And here's what I follow up with Nick. 2 big stories in the outdoors this week. First of all, the new state record king salmon. The second one is last Wednesday at the Wolf Advisory Committee meeting in Ishpeming, a retired DNR wildlife biologist stood up. Kevin Swanson. I've had Kevin on the show. And Kevin said in that meeting, he made a statement that when he was a DNR wildlife biologist, he said, yes, but it's not a triploid. He said, what was the old record? 46 and change. The new record's 47 and change. Kevin Swanson said in that Wolf Advisory Committee meeting during the public comment segment, He said when he was a DNR wildlife biologist, he went to his bosses and gave them a number that he estimated of wolves in his area based on his experience and personal tracks and sightings. Kevin Swanson said his bosses did not use that number. Now, if that is true, it raises a couple of big questions. Number one, does that mean that the wolf count that the DNR number is using is inaccurate? Kevin was realistically only talking about 5 wolves. So that's not going to change the number by a couple of hundred or so. Strawberry Lake Pack. However, if what Kevin says is true, and if the powers that be were intentionally downsizing the number of the pack at several different places, it could mean that the count is way off. Second question this raises, and I think this is the more significant question, is if this is true, does it mean that DNR wildlife managers are not trusting their field staff and using their numbers? That to me is the bigger issue. And I'm not saying that's the case, but it raises the question. Proposal G, sound scientific wildlife management. All wildlife decisions in Michigan will be made based on, how did my light die? I had it charged. Sound wildlife management. I'm going to put that back on charge because that should not have died. Should have been a full charge. So I don't know. Very odd that that light died. Unless my light is actually dead. I hope not. That's my favorite light. Well, I'll use the light that I've got here. It seems like it's all right. Chris Durson of Rapid River Knives, rapidriverknifeworks.com. Look at this beauty. I've shown you this before. This is the knife that I carry every day. I am dead. This is my Rapid River folding knife. Mammoth ivory is this handle. This is the sharpest knife that I have ever owned. I love Rapid River. You're going to carry a knife anyway, right? I carry a knife every day, so I want to carry a Michigan-made Rapid River knife, and that's what I'm doing. RapidRiverKnifeworks.com, RapidRiverKnifeworks.com, or stop in their showroom in Rapid River in the UP and check it out. Chris says he's recovering from hand surgery, a ruptured tendon. Oh, man, I'm glad I got the knife too. And Chris, I got a little surprise for you. We've talked about this. I have a mount for your showroom if you want it, and we can get it up there. It's a full body ostrich that I shot in Africa that I no longer have room for in my house. My light's not going to charge. All right. So it's just me. This is me. This is what you got tonight. It is a nice knife. It's not a nice knife. It is a beautiful knife. It's a handmade piece of art that is meant to be used. And so I use it every day. Chris says he'll take it. Good evening, Brent. How are you, my friend? James says he broke in his Rapid River Skinner last year. Okay, let's go back to the wolf numbers in the UP, right? So I don't have a dog in this fight. I've had Kevin Swanson on the show before. He's a friend of a friend, so I think I'm going to say he's a stand-up guy. But if what is saying is true, what does this mean about not only the size of the wolf population in the UP, but more importantly, trust in the DNR's numbers? So anyway, going back to the show rundown, in the second hour, I talked with Nick Green about that. from MUCC. Speaking of controversial issues and people, in hour 3 of this show, my guest is Richard P. Smith of richardpsmith.com, noted outdoor writer and wildlife expert. They do sell Rapid River. Thank you, Chris, for pointing that out. If you can't get to the UP, or if you don't want to buy online, if you go to Jay's Sporting Goods, jaysportinggoods.com, or go to Claire or Gaylord, they sell Rapid River knives in the store. Thank you, Chris, for reminding me of that. Richard has taken legal, and I don't mean to be on the DNR tonight, because I think overall the DNR, for the most part, doing a good job. And I do believe, I am convinced that the people in the DNR at the field level are good people. I think as you work up the food chain and you get closer to Lansing, politics do start to play a role, because you have to be an astute politician to survive in Lansing. Richard has taken legal action against the DNR in reference to their UP whitetail management practices. And to help fund this effort, he started a GoFundMe page, and I will post the link to that. Chef Dave Miner could not join me this week because he was didn't have power, and his cell signal was bad. Your age, Tony, you're older than me, man. Not by much, I know, though. When most hunters get to our age, they'll be using crossbows because they can't pull a compound bow because of injuries or muscle mass. The muscle mass thing I get, Tony. That's why I'm not pulling the poundage on my recurve that I wanted to. When I lost all that weight, I lost a bunch of strength, and I never really recovered it to the level that I wanted to. So I'm not pulling the poundage on my recurve that I want to be comfortable. So I'm going back to a crossbow. A quick, clean, humane killing shot. Is it the easy way out? Absolutely. If the goal is to be fair to the critters we're hunting, to make a quick, clean, humane killing shot, and a crossbow allows me to do that, why not? Would a compound allow me to do that? Yep, it would. But again, I got to be honest. If I was going to take the time to shoot my compound enough to become proficient, I would just shoot my recurve. But I got a lot of things going on right now, a lot of projects, and I know I'm not going to take the time to shoot it and become proficient. So yes, I'm taking the easy way out. Tony's 72. I'm 63, Tony. There we go. Bill Pyles, Ohio Bow Hunting Outfitters. He says, bring it on, big fella. Bill, your deer might actually be in trouble, because I've decided that since I'm not going to shoot my recurve enough to become proficient, guess what I'm bringing to Ohio? I'm bringing a new Darton Toxin 150 RD crossbow. So I might be dangerous to your whitetails. I told you earlier, don't worry about it. Don't worry about the recurve, because I'm not going to kill one of your deer. But with this, I might. Can't blame you on your crossbow. Just one from a friend. Never hunted with one. Boy, they're pretty cool. They are. They allow you to make a quick, clean, humane killing shot more easily and faster than with a compound, or certainly with a recurve or a longbow. Somebody said, what was the name of the broadhead I'm going to use? Now, I've never used these before. It's a REK, R-E-K, REK broadhead. I'm using their 100-grain expandable. I would not use an expandable with traditional gear, but I will with a crossbow. And the reason I'm shooting a REK is, number one, they come very highly recommended, but more importantly, they're Michigan made. We are preach it, brother. Scott, who's going to be down there? He says he's going to be stacking them like cordwood. Thank you, Jim. What day is it? Mike, what day is it? It's hump day. Thank you for asking. Bill says expandable, most definitely. And I apologize, my light died. It should have had a full charge. I had it on charge all afternoon. It's hump day. Stu is 63, great number. He says he was shooting the Toxin 150 prototype in Ramcats the last bear he took in White River. Lori says Brian wants her to take her dart and crossbow to Ohio as a backup. Lori, let me tell you, you use whatever you want. You use whatever you are proficient with. And that's all. That's all that needs to be said. You take what you want to Ohio. You take what you want in the deer woods, wherever, and God bless you for it. Sherry, dear, are you with us from Freakin' Pickles, freakinpickles.com? Are you on here tonight? Yes, I am heading to Canada. I'm heading to Canada in 10 days. The border is open. I just talked to a buddy who got into Ontario. He told me the process was easy. Bill Pyles says one word, no matter what you're bringing to Ohio or what you're using anywhere, whether it's a recurve, a longbow, a compound, or a crossbow, shoot it. Practice with it. Get proficient with it. Become comfortable with it. Become confident with it. I haven't seen her yet either, Lori. So, Lori, I might ask you to play the role of Sherry Harpham tonight, if you don't mind. It would mean you won't win. Okay. Sherry says she can't log in. Let me send her a quick text and see if it's okay. Can Lori be you to pick the winner? I'm sure she's going to say yes. Oh, Lori is. Okay, she already said that. Yes, okay. I didn't see that. Okay, so Lori has been a fish. Oh, Johnny sent me a picture of a bear. What is it? I can't see the picture. Is there a bear in that picture, Johnny? Or is that just you running the roads baiting your bear baits? Okay, Sherry. So Lori is going to play that role at the border. Scott's shooting 60 yards every night. Are you shooting your compound or your crossbow, Scott? How are they verifying that you have to have the vaccine? I think you have to show them your vaccination card, which, to be honest, Dave, sounds very, very much like Eastern Europe 50 years ago when you had to show me your papers. I admit that that's what it sounds like, but that's one of the big reasons I got vaccinated, so I could cross the border to go on an Ontario bear hunt, because I knew they were going to ask for that. Scott's taking his raven. Bill, also, we had a couple of cancellations in November. If anybody is interested, private message him. What is my opinion on unlimited doe tags in Michigan? Papers, please. Yes, I don't have thoughts on it, Matt. Listen, God's truth is, and I'm ashamed to say this, I am not really, I don't know how to say this. I am so disinterested in deer hunting and so disinterested in the politics of deer hunting in Michigan that I haven't given it as much thought as I should. Good question. And we'll get to giving away some freaking pickles. Does the Mike 20 discount work on the Wraith 270? It does. But outdoorpregame.com is no longer working. You have to go to primaltreestands.com and you can do it there. What are we giving away tonight? It's freaking pickles, freakingpickles.com. Let me share a screen with you. Share a screen, Chrome tab, freaking pickles. There we go. That's what we're giving away tonight. A couple of freaking pickles, a couple of tubs of freaking pickles. They're the best you've ever had. Starting right now, you have 2 minutes to make your comments on why you want to win some freaking pickles, freakingpickles.com. Lori Card is playing the role of Sherry Harpham. Make your comments creative. Lori will pick a winner tonight. She's playing. Hey, Steve, how are you, buddy? Make your comments on why you want to win some freaking pickles. Freaking pickles me, please. Because the freaking pickles need you. Because they taste great. Because I do like to get pickled. That's a good one, Ed. I would like to try some freaking pickles. Who said that? Sweet heat for the win. Love freaking pickles. Sherry Smith Lepic Harpham has some amazing pickles. We already talked about it, James. We talked about it at length. They would go great in a Bloody Mary. They are Michigan made. Amen to that. A minute 30 on why you want to win some freaking pickles. Freakingpickles.com. Freakingpickles.com. Plus the store at All Gray. And I don't know if I'm letting the cat out of the bag or not, but there might be another store coming online. You would need them for your Bloody Marys. 1 minute on the freaking pickles. 1 minute on the freaking pickles. I hope John Callison is standing by because to go along with a new state record, King Salmon, I feel like I can set a new record tonight on the buzzer. 30 seconds on the pickles. Mad Jack watching on YouTube says he wants some freaking pickles or he's going to sleep outside. What a great time to go salmon fishing. It is. Freaking pickles are amazing. For cramps, yes. 20 seconds on the pickles. I'm not watching the clock. I love the horseradish ones. I bought some horseradish pickles at the blueberry farm that I was at last week. What was it called? That's where I picked up my bow. 10, 9. John, are you standing by? 8, 7, 6. This is going to be good. I wish my light was here. Ted, I'm on the... Oh, it is here. Ted, I can't answer, buddy. I can't answer. I'm on the air. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Backwards. Thank you, Kurt. I might have done it. If we can set a new state record, King Salmon, after 40 years, I should be able to set a new record on my buzzer. I felt like I was going to pass out. 41 seconds. That is far and away a new buzzer record. We're setting new records in Michigan. A new state record, King Salmon, and a new buzzer record of 41 seconds. This is a big week in Michigan, my friends. This is a big, big week. Lori Card playing the role of Sherry Harpham. Who wins our pickles? I like the Garmin electronics. Ding, ding, ding. Was it you, Jeff? I didn't see. Was it you? Lori said it's Amy Wheatley Hassel. Amy Wheatley Hassel. Congrats on winning the freaking pickles. Amy, please send me a private message with your shipping address. Amy Wheatley Hassel. Congrats, Amy, on winning those freaking pickles. You're going to love them. You're going to love them. What do you mean no on the record? Who said that? No on the record. Oh, me on the new record. Yeah, gotcha. Ding, ding, ding. Yes, it was. It is. Yes. It's a big week. A new state record, King Salmon, and 41 seconds on the buzzer. Not bad for an old guy. Hoorah! Congrats, Amy. Yes, Amy, congrats. What about congrats to Avery for the new record? The East Tawas shop is open. It opened on the 6th. So I can't talk because my temporary fake tooth is still in here for one more week. So the shop in All Gray, the shop in East Tawas now, or buy them online at freakinpickles.com. That's freakinpickles.com. Sherry, if you're still here, Ted just tried to call me. Tell him I will call him back. And congratulations, Ted and Sherry Harpham, this weekend on 11 years of blissful marriage. How could it be 11 years? We can't make your party this weekend, but we were there for your wedding. All right, Phil, have a good night. Man, I'm long-winded tonight because there's still things I want to talk about and haven't gotten to. Okay. I talked the weather. The weather is a factor. It's hot and muggy. Be careful out there. What was the skin suits? Versaskins.com, versaskins.com. You're a step ahead of me. I'm getting there right now. Got to admit, I love your radio show and this live stuff. Any updates on the baiting ban? Dave, there will not be an update on the baiting ban. There are going to be no changes to baiting in Michigan this fall, period. Don't look for one. It's not going to happen. State Record King, the Wolf Meetings, Kevin Swanson, the Toxin 150. I got to give a shout out to Bob Ransom. I'm running a commercial right now on the radio show that says if you go to outdoorpregame.com, and use the promo code Mike20, you can get deep discounts on a Wraith blind. You can get one for $200. So here's the thing. Got to go back to work? Why don't you just retire, Jeff? You have protected the people of Michigan long enough. You deserve a break. They also sell them at the Food Center in Auburn, lots of other places as well. I got an email from a guy. He said, Mike, you're promoting the Wraith 270 blind on outdoorpregame.com. And when I go there, I can't buy them. So I texted Bob Ransom, the owner of the company. I said, Bob, here's the deal. Here's the guy's number. Can you help me out? Bob Ransom, the owner of Primal Tree Stands, personally called this guy and said, I apologize for the hassle. Things have been switched over to primaltreestands.com. So if you go to primaltreestands.com, primaltreestands.com, and use that promo code, Mike20, you can get the Wraith for just $200. So it's still out there, but you've got to go to primaltreestands.com instead of outdoorpregame.com. Promo code Mike20. If you go to michiganbrand.net and use the promo code Mike21, you can get discounts on everything on the Michigan Brand website, michiganbrand.net, promo code Mike21. If you go to versaskins.com, and use the promo code Avery20, you can get, I think it's 20% off everything at Versaskins until September 1st. So there's a window on that one. Versaskins.com, promo code Avery20. And now here's the cool part. They now have sizes up to 6X. So I don't care what size you are, Versaskins has got you covered now. Literally. See what I did there? And for our promo codes, mucc.org, use the promo code Mike, all caps, MIKE. And get your 25% off your renewal. Hello, Chad. How are you? Nice to have you along with us. Mike, always a pleasure to have you here. Chad, you tuned in just in time to see us wrap this up. Unfortunately, you missed the new record-setting buzzer. John Callison, the official timer, was not here. He will check it on tape later. Hey, Rick, how you doing, buddy? Fishing on the bay is really slowing down. That's why I say it's time to go bear hunting. That's what I'm going to do. Mr. Avery. What's this Mr. Avery stuff, Eric? Just call me Mike or the big guy. Jerry says he loves all the banter tonight. You mean my BS? And you mean my talk? Time to go add a little something to the Yeti. Wednesdays are my busy day. So by the time I do Behind the Mic from the studio, a 3-hour radio show, a Jay's Sporting Goods podcast, a Killer Food Plots podcast, and a Wednesday night live, It's time to put a little maker's mark in my crystal light. There we go. Hey, big guy. I get it, Eric, and I appreciate. He says it's all about respect. After following you as a youth in the early days of my show, now you look at Eric's picture right there. Eric is a full-grown man now, and he used to watch me when he was a kid. Jeff says there are no perch in the bay, so don't bother trying to catch them. Same to you, Mad Jack. All right, my friends, it's been a good night. Sam, I'm going to come up tomorrow and take a look at the scopes. You're 34. You're a grown man. Congrats to Amy Wheatley Hassel. And thank you to Sherry Harpham of Freakin' Pickles for your generosity. Amy, send me a private message with your shipping address. And Lori says Scentlock has a full line of women's clothing. All right, my friends, thank you for joining me on a very auspicious Wednesday Night Live. There was a new Sam, who should I talk to up there? Anybody who's there will be fine. A new record on the buzzer. A new Michigan State record, King Salmon. Congrats to Captain Bobby Sullivan and his angler, Lewis. Getting ready to go to the border, cross the border into Ontario on a bear hunt. Looking forward to that. I'll be taking my Rapid River knife, rapidriverknifeworks.com. Check out the promo codes, primaltreestands.com, Mike20, michiganbrand.net, Mike21, mucca.org, Mike, all caps, and versaskins.com, Avery20, but only till September 1st. All right, my friends, have a great night. Hey, Jason, how are you? Jason, I want to tell you, when I saw you the other day, congrats, man. You're looking good. And you know what I'm talking about, but you're looking good. Yes, Lori will be on the radio show next week. I'm recording 2 shows next week so I can go bear hunting in Ontario. Thank you for joining me on this edition of Wednesday Night Live. My email address is mike@mikeaveryoutdoors.com. Mike@mikeaveryoutdoors.com. Feel free to send me an email. Jeff's taking the Polar Craft to Ludington Friday. Excellent. The website, mikeaveryoutdoors.com. Thank you for joining me on this edition of Wednesday Night Live. Have a good night.